Okay, perfect. Hello, everyone. My name is Omid. Today, we are going to talk about firefighting in an engineer mode. Uh, about me, I've worked a couple of years in companies like Crito, IQVIA, Nokia Bell Labs, but it's not about me, it's about firefighters. So let's start with a bit of context. I will be showing you a couple of keywords. 3 a.m., you are sleeping and you see this notification on your mobile phone, and you know you are doomed to handle an incident, a real fire. But the question here is it a real fire? What should I do? Where should I look at? When should I escalate the issue? Is it a real thing? Should I just close it? Should I wait a bit? Is there a ROM book in the alert description or what? It means stress. I've been a junior, and when I received this call, like, I was stressed. And my partner in life also, she was an SRE, and once we had to leave the New Year's Eve party just because we had an incident. So, yeah. And the day after, you are sleepy. Thanks to France, we have a bit of margin to sleep a bit more, but still, we are not super sharp. Then you have to go back to work, and you have this tons of messages coming to your Slack, Microsoft Teams, or whatever tool, and you're like, the mind is blown. And why? Because you are in that team that handles the incidents. You're the production team, you're slash DevOps, SRE, platform team, whatever, but there's just people coming asking why my pipeline is failing, why this IAM role has been changed, and I mean, the productivity is gone. So my experience is not super huge to just share what I lived, I mean, a couple of years, but during the last year, since I left my job, I've been doing like more than hundreds of interviews with different companies of different sizes, different parts of the world. And I'd like to share some insights I've seen with my team, like during these interviews with you. First, like 1 out of 10 companies, they prefer that the product just crash. Like, we like to have on-call, but it's too expensive and nobody is volunteer to do that. It's a big thing. You have a product that is fancy, like people are paying for it, it's mission critical, but we are not there to just have this on-call. 2 out of 10, I mean, here just a explanation. These are the things we observed. I mean, we respect your companies for sure, but things happen. I mean, these are the observations. They have someone just is acting like a monitor, like a person just staring at the biggest screen in the office, just, hey, things picked, because why not? I mean, but this is like the overkill of productivity, just having someone looking at a screen just full day. I mean, this is the engineer life, but muted alerting channels. Like 3 out of 10, they were saying, we don't look at things until we see that there is a real fire. And like with some of the partners of us, like we've been working with, they mentioned that, I mean, we did this, I mean, simple calculation, but it's like more than 500 notifications per day. Like you have your Argo CD, like observability tool, pipelines, everything just sending these bots, sending messages to you. And okay, maybe you do like categorization of like P1 alerts, P2 alerts, P3, but then you just mute it because you can't work like this. The other thing, 5 out of 10, I build but you maintain. It means that we are the development team, we build something, but when we deliver, it's like the SRE team who is like responsible for the ROM books and like being called during the night. And usually there is this knowledge that is missing, like, okay, we have ROM books, but it's not the best ROM books. I mean, at the end, you're just lost where to start fixing the issue. 6 out of 10, we're saying that it's mostly the code that is breaking the production during the night or during the day. And when it comes to the cloud native companies, it becomes more and more like 8 out of 10. But this is something like global during within all the interviews with it. Company hero, 7 out of 10 were saying that Mr. X knows everything, Mrs. Y, I mean, she's just knowledgeable, they should be added to the channel. If they are there, we are safe. If not, just an incident, just panic, everyone. And this means there is a tribal knowledge that the junior doesn't have, gets stressed, doesn't know where to escalate the issue. There is no Confluence or whatever document that explains this. And then, on the other hand, like there is this senior person that when they decide to leave the company, that just the knowledge goes with them. The last one here is lost in the tools. Again, 7 out of 10. The fact is that we've heard several times from like the VP of engineering and like the CTOs that, hey, we have everything that we need right now. They're amazing, the tools out there, but it takes a lot of time to onboard on the tool. Like I can name, I mean, you know better like the amazing tools out there, but just to exploit these tools up to their maximum, it needs a huge knowledge. Like just seems that people are just scratching like the surface of each tool. I mean, these numbers also, they're like so big, but these are real numbers we see with some big, I mean, medium-sized scales up, like in France, that they have a online service like 24/7, and this is huge, like 200 dashboards and 1,000 monitors. Just, I mean, this is big, considerable. Then we passed to the next phase in the interviews, asking, okay, you have these issues, but what do you do like to overcome these challenges? For sure, there you do something. The first one is kind of, I mean, obvious, is that one firefighter per team. Makes sense. We are, let's say, 5, and like one of us dedicate itself to being the firefighter, just the shield in front of the team, just to receive all the noise, and like the rest of us are safe, focusing on productivity. That is good. The second one, this was kind of unique. We didn't see it a lot of times, but I wonder maybe it's good to mention it here, is evangelists. Like having these, let's say, senior evangelists that iterate and rotate between different development teams to make them more productive, more autonomous on using production and like just building and maintaining things on themselves. And the idea is that to avoid these force and backs between teams, like the development teams and the production or SRE team in middle, like just make your developers be more autonomous on the production. You build, you maintain. This is the opposite of the other one, like I mentioned in the previous slide. Here, the idea is that to just remove this central, let's say, SRE production team, and just, I mean, even remove the name, like just every development team, at least 1 or 2 people among these people are knowledgeable enough to just take care of what they build, what they like maintain. If there's an incident, they're just coming to them directly. There's no force and back between different teams. Let's keep the scope small. Periodic revisions, like this is quite simple, like dedicating a part of your week or your month to doing the revisions over like thresholds, alerts, the amount of logs you receive. Is it efficient? It needs a bit of dedication, that's for sure, but the companies were doing this were quite happy. Zero alert policy. This one is even harder than the previous one. Like we've talked with companies that they were so happy and so proud of what they did. They had this mindset that if an alert comes, if it's a noise, it should be fixed, or I mean, it should be something should be changed at that moment. And if it's serious, just fix the issue. And it shouldn't be a recurring thing. It shouldn't be like a noise through our days. Internal automation, like for incident management, we've seen companies that dedicated a team. I mean, it should be within the capacity of the team for sure, but when you arrive at having a top-notch automation, like a simple bot that just streamlines the whole incident workflow, that is enormous. Like the value it brings, and the team don't hesitate to just launch an incident, iterate over it, have the postmortem, have the documents ready, have the follow-ups ready, and it's so smooth, the whole process. And this is my opinion, this is what we are working on. A AAA practice that I'd like to share is, and this is possible today, not like the years before, is to have an AI autonomous agent, not a co-pilot, but an operator. The fact is that today you can have like this open fate agent that doesn't fall within a certain number of steps. It just starts from where the smoke comes from, and then it just iterates with production. It just hits the code base, hits the observability, a bit of historical knowledge. It iterates, cleans the context, and at the end, it is capable of sharing an ideal message that you'd like to see, for example, in your Slack, saying that, hey, we had this significant peak of alerts, like this total number, like an insightful message that gains a lot of time and removes part of the stress from your incident, from your daily investigations. We are not talking about like just fully like 100% fixing the whole issue, but I'm talking about that night that you're waking up because of an alert, and you can just, as easy as having the history of the day, just knowing what teams did what is the release note, what are the monitors that could help me. This is the first step, and then the second step is just to enrich this agent that can just remove this stress from this part of engineering life. Just to wrap it up, since a year ago, I got obsessed with this idea. We are working on this. We've created Ewake.ai, but it's not about Ewake. It's about my personal vision that this stressful part of the engineering life should be removed at the end, because engineering is super fun. Maintaining is even much more fun, but at the end, there are some stressful moments that we live through this like engineering life that, yeah, it shouldn't be there, specifically right now with AI. Thank you very much. If you have a similar experience, if you've been to incidents, I would like to hear how you think about that. If no, thank you very much. You just have this QR code here. Scan. Thank you.
Hello, we have 1 minute if someone has questions. No? No question? Okay, so
thank you.
I'm quite surprised by the best practice being only one firefighter per team, because when he's in holidays, what do you do?
Yes, that's true. Like, so you're talking about like the whole team being on holiday, or I'm not sure I got the question.
There was a best practice where there was only one firefighter per team.
Yeah.
So when he's not here, when he's in...
Yeah, like one thing, the fact maybe I forgot to mention that it rotates per week. So like one firefighter per week or per month, it's part of like the daily job. And even we've seen like the practice of having firefighters per the whole company, like just one SRE person and one dev person just acting as like the firefighter of the whole company for a week. I mean, just keeping it simpler, but yeah, for sure rotating over that, yeah.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.